What you could ask me about is what do I think the definition of the Balearic sound is? It's the one thing that I've noticed that people seem to get confused with. People seem to think that the Balearic sound seems to be an idea for digging out old obscure Italian tracks that sounded awful in the 80s that still sound awful today, that nobody actually played in Ibiza back in the day. And why they call it Balearic, they seem to think it means obscure, which it doesn't. Balearic is simply the idea that they were playing stuff in the Balearic Islands with no genre barriers, and that is what Balearic truly is. It's not digging out gibbero on all those tracks that happened all those years ago. That's not specifically being Balearic, just playing old school Balearic. The true Balearic feeling is just to play good tracks from any genre, full stop. That's it. You don't have to stroke a beard to enjoy it or anything like that. It's just good music.
I never ever listen to dance music at home. Never ever, I don't think. Well, I do listen to it for kind of work thing, but no, I listen to, mainly rock or very depressing music or quiet music or really old things. Not anything that's got a 4/4 beat. It's just if I play one, I'll have a listen, then it reminds me of work and it's the same thing. It's the same thing as with the CDs. Dance music is made for kind of nightclubs. At home. Even if you have some people back in your flat, I just hate it going back to the flat and people playing music like in a nightclub. It's horrible. Why do you want to do that? Just go to another nightclub if you want, right? Home is different.
On a sort of festival or something, or playing live all the time, you hear so much music. But it's always like listening to music but the thing of the need to be in a club like 6 days a week for me is gone really. But I'm glad I've done it,
Nowadays you get sent far too much actually with MP3s and so you get about 300 tracks a week. It's far too much and you get a lot of rubbish. After all those years you just go like, ding, 10 seconds now, next, And then, I've got a lot of friends. It's a matter of network and keeping your ears open and not being lazy. I think that's the key. You need to, how many brilliant tracks I've found on a shit record, hidden on the B-side. It's not about, what's in the charts, or it's about finding the ones that people don't know about. They're here, It's just that you've got to look for it. That's it.
Still use vinyl. I mix it up with some CDs for sure. I wasn't mixing CDs this time last year, so a year later I finally got into it, a bit later than everyone else. I had to go on the computer story, but I prefer CDs. I like something a bit more tactile,
It doesn't really matter. I'm not obsessed with the vinyl. I love vinyl, but it's not. It's about the music,
I watch guys just, you can see them with a laptop and you can just see them stroking the chin a bit, going like paint drying, watching.
It's just practical, that's it. Don't have to carry a record box, don't hurt your back.
I like to have some edge, like a stick shift car. I like to know what's going on.
Studio endlessly, basically. My life. No, that's the test. If you want to go and listen to it more, that's a good thing.
It used to be vinyl, and what I liked the best was the B-sides of the main single track, and the B-sides were often called dub versions. And the dub versions had that in particular, that they were a little bit more crazy, and there was a lot of effects, there was a lot of things happening that were not happening on the kind of almost tame main version. And I used to love those dubs. And a dub would be like sort of like a more effect heavy version of the original song. So some people might know the original song, might not even know what it is, but it borrows from Jamaican dub when you hear that, you know, a lot of echoing effects and a lot of reverb and a lot of that. But it's a totally different music, so it gives it like a unique sound. Space is like a huge dance floor. That's the first thing that strikes you when you come in. I mean, I always play the main terraza, so I don't know so much about the other rooms, but terraza is just like this big dance floor. There's a bit of space around it, but mostly is a dance floor. And I always thought that the particular thing that Space had, as opposed to other places, was that it was really geared towards dancing, and the people were there for that. And it's the best situation for a DJ, because your main goal is to make people dance, and they're here to dance, so it's like a perfect match.
I have played in the discoteca. I have played in the covered terrace, and when the discoteca was the original terrace, and the first time I played there was 15 summers ago, and you had to. It was basically pretty much open air, and you're playing through the sort of the doors of a burger bar, and you're having to deal with people selling burgers while you're trying to mix tunes and stuff like that. So it's pretty chaotic, but raw and fun for sure. I mean, I've done every room in that building pretty much, and yeah, I'd like to play one of those rooms sometime, but I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. I love that club within a club story going on in the Red Box, and I like the upper terrace because I can just go and play a more eclectic sound that's not happening anywhere else.
Ladies and gentlemen,